Welcome back to the Mars Mindset on Sleepy Monday, October the 23rd. It's the 23rd, right, Mr. Rain? You said the 23rd?
Yes.
October the 23rd. For my people on Instagram, you're more than welcome to join us in the members area. All you have to do is go to IAmChellsX.com, get you today's Mars Mindset One Day Pass or a powerful membership to be with us day in and day out. Today's topic, real or fake. How do you know if someone's really into you, really feeling you, or if they're faking it and they're just present for what's beneficial for them? So Ms. Duran had a story a couple weeks ago or last week sometime. And Ms. Duran, you were saying you found the guy's black book. Do you think the guy really liked you, or you think he was just using you for his own benefit?
No, I think he liked me. I think, as I was saying earlier, I think he had a sex problem. I really didn't want for anything, so he wasn't using me.
Mm.
Um, when women talk about like what they need to make and all of this, I didn't even have to ask for nothing. He just took care of.
Mm.
And the friends with the benefits was there, but I thought we was more than friends. I found the black book.
Okay.
So
So you do
the
think
black
he
book changed the story for me.
so you think his
Books.
so you're saying it sounds like you're saying you believe that his affinity for you was real. He just also had an affinity for other people.
Hmm. Yeah.
What what was it that made you what is it that he would do or not do that make you believe that like, oh, like this guy really likes me? Like what so do you think he liked the other women too? Or do you think he was just
I think
feeling his desire?
I know in the beginning he had his own everything. House, job, car, all of that.
Mhm.
But then there was a time that because we was involved for over like 5 years. So it's when like, you know,
I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
know.
I didn't know y'all was together that long. I thought this was like a quick joint through the summer or something like that, and then you found out pretty early.
Oh no, no, no. It's 5 years.
Okay, okay.
And we were and even the it was something I was doing. I was at his house. We was going out of town that morning. I went in the basement to get something out the dryer, and for the first time, and I seen um I seen one of the black I seen a black book, and it was sitting on the floor. When I picked it up, I looked at it. I saw this one of his calendar books. When I opened it up, I was like, "Oh, that boy keeping record of who he with." So then it made me, you know, we still went out of town. And later on, I start like researching and found tubs of black folks. So
You
then
found
I
what?
found
You found
tubs.
oh, oh really? You didn't tell us
Yeah.
that part last time. Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Tubs of them. Tubs. He was kept for years. And so
Uh-huh.
this didn't just start. And so when I found the most recent is when I found the story. I seen me in the black book where I told y'all I was driving and he said, keep going because that's my cousin at the door. I want to talk to her. But that was a lie.
Yeah.
Because in the black book it said who she was, but that because he was with me, he didn't want no argument with her. So he told me that it was he put all this in the book, like to remind himself what lie he had told.
Maybe do you think he was writing his life story or something? Like, why would you document all of that? Like, did you ask him like, why would you like just out of curiosity? Like, why
No,
would
I,
you
I ended
do
up
that?
I ended up I ended up not telling him that I really didn't know how to tell, like, what the heck is you doing? So it just started, like, I had to, like, wean myself off of him. Like, not even bringing up anything about the book, not bringing up anything what I found out about you. I just, hey, you want to go to, no, I'm busy tonight. Well, I noticed that you ain't been, want me to come over? You come over. No,
You just cut him off. You
it's
just fell back.
I fell back until I fell all the way out. Mm.
Okay. So, but even with the black book and the tubs of black books, you still believe that he really
I thought he
liked
did.
you and appreciate or rock with you. What was it? Why did you believe that? Like, what
Wait,
would you do?
I'm
What
sorry.
like? So you're saying, in spite of all the black book stuff, you say
Mm-hmm.
that you think that he really liked you, like he was real,
Mm-hmm.
like his
Mm-hmm.
admiration for you was real. What made it? What did he do or not do to make you have that belief or perspective?
It was the fact that I found out he was having sex with other people.
No. I'm saying
Oh,
I understand. I understand why you fell back. I'm saying what would he do or not do to make you be like, oh, this guy really likes me? Because like
oh,
obviously you got some dudes who pretend like they actually like a woman just to get what it is they want from her, and then you have women who pretend that they'll like a man just to get what it is they want.
yeah.
What?
I mean, we would have dates. He would be like, you don't need your purse. We're going to the store. You don't need your purse. I don't have to ask for nothing. You know, it was just always he took care of me, like
Mhm.
literally took care of me. I would go for my purse anytime we would go somewhere, and he'd be like, "No, leave it here. You don't need it. You carry your phone, but you don't need that." I don't care where we went. I don't care if it was a grocery store. I don't care if it was something I needed. He had it. He doing it.
He
It
was a
could be
provider.
big numbers. It could be small numbers. It did not matter. So I didn't think at all prior to the black books, anything. My daughter and them knew him. His kids knew us. I didn't think anything to the black books. And then, the black books kind of like made it really affected me really as far as even now because this I think I don't trust now. I won't say all men are liars, but it wasn't no reason for him to have to do that. You can if there's some women that'll rock like that.
Right.
Now I wouldn't have, but you could bring that up and tell women that this is who you are, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, I'm cool," As long as you, it just to me, it was like, um, long as he with me today, then we good. Long as he with me, I'm with him. Wait a minute, hold on for a minute. I'll call you back. All
All
right,
right.
bye bye.
All right. Bye, man.
Yeah, so I just think that you know he didn't expect for me to fall back. Mm-mm. But I'm not the one that when I find something, oh, look at what you da da. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
Now, let me ask you this, Ms. Durain. Outside of like relationships, just in maybe familial relationships or friendships or coworkers, have you ever experienced someone who you thought was present in your life from an authentic standpoint, but in reality they were there to use you or to get some benefit just for themselves?
Mm, You mean benefit as far as sexual
Anything, anything.
or money? No, because I ain't
Could
giving
be.
no money.
Could,
Could be like what? I'm
The Ray
sorry.
said, I don't know what you're here for, but you ain't get no money anyway, so it really don't matter.
You ain't getting that. You're not. No, it's you. After being married 26 years, I did get involved with him afterwards, and I think that's where I fell into that situation because of where I was coming from, and I feel like when you out of that dating pool, it's like you don't know how to date.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know how. And my girlfriend was like, I got this nice guy, it's my friend's brother, and he's single and he's a really nice guy. And, you know, um, I think me, as I was telling her about you, and she was saying, "Oh, she sound like a nice lady," and yeah, let's hook my brother up with her, and that's how that all started. So, you know, I don't, I I was a little floored. Coming out of a 26-year marriage and running into this was just like, wait a minute, what is this?
Like culture shock.
Yeah, because I remember I remember telling somebody, I do not like being out here like this. This is crazy. I said, and I know how it was but when you done got married and you done been, with your mate, you don't know what's going on out there. Really, you can hear, but you really don't know what's going on out there until you actually out there and you start, they doing this, they what? They doing that. So yeah, it was a little bit of a mess up for me. So do I like trust now? I don't know. In the beginning, it probably wouldn't be. No, not trusting you. Not like that, not because really of what he did, but when I hear about, oh, you know, if I take you out to dinner, we're gonna smash. Well, then you better not take me nowhere because you're not getting anything, honey. That I look, if that's what you thought, and I know we talking, but I hear older guys say it too. So it's not like the younger ones are saying it, but some of the older guys, if I spend this, I expect that. Well, you keep on expecting because this one right here, mm-mm. I really do feel like, I do have value and I'm you're gonna treat me with respect. You're gonna treat me like I know women should be treated, and that's just that. You can't
Gotcha.
treat I can't, I can't be out here with everything showing just because you trying to catch a man.
Right.
You know,
I feel you.
we're supposed to be found. I'm not supposed to be looking. And a lot of women don't know that. My family say, well, they look, they ain't coming to the house. I say, you don't know, somebody might knock on the door and you're beautiful.
The Amazon guy gonna come and sweep you up.
Hey, hey, I don't
Mimi,
know.
Yes, sir.
what's up, Mimi? How you feeling? You in the car today?
No, 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 I'm home today.
Oh, okay. You get your workout
There
in?
was, yes, I did that early. There was no football practice today, so I was able to be home for once.
All right, good. Well, that's good. So let me ask you this.
Hmm.
What's your process for finding out if someone is really rocking with you or is just there for their own personal gain?
I feel like I sound like a broken record in here because it's the same answer for a lot of relationship questions. But for me, it's time and situations, right? Like I try to view this person in all kinds of situations. I hold their actions higher than their words because people will say anything. So I watch people. I'm a big time observer, right? So that takes time. And so I'm not one that moves very quickly. I'm going to watch to see if what you say matches what you do. I'm going to pay attention to how you treat other people as well as how you treat me. And all of those things. So I think it really is just a matter of, as a foreign a concept as it seems to be in America these days. It's about patience and process, right? Like making sure that the person is who they say they are, and that is seeing them over a period of time, because most people can't fake it for long. And if they can, then there's nothing you can do anyway. You're not losing anything by taking your time and viewing them in all kinds of circumstances. How do they act when they're stressed out? Do they still treat you well? Do they still treat you well when they're angry? Do they consider you when, they have something good going on or something bad going on, and all of that? But it really does come down to the actions matching the words
So have
for
you
me.
ever, so I got you because you said, you talk about using time. Have you ever had someone that was able to stretch it out over amount of time where you believed that they were real? And then
I've had
it was just
I've had
good. Like, damn, this nigga really waited.
well, I had one situation where an ex, I found out we lived separately. It was long distance. He lived back home in Virginia. I was here. But I was going home a lot. So we saw each other a lot, or he was coming here. So we saw each other a lot. But about 2.5 years in, without me knowing, he actually moved in with another woman and was living with her. And I didn't find out for like a year and a half, right? Um, when I would go see, I worked for the federal government at the time, and I did a lot of traveling on the government dime. So I would have hotels in DC and Virginia. So when I would come, we'd go to the hotel, right? Or we'd hang out with my family or at the hotel or even at his mom's house. And then when he came here, he was telling her that he was traveling for work. And I only found out because she found out about me and did that whole call her while I'm right here on the phone, right? So that was a devastating thing because I felt like I knew this person and I thought that this person was as genuine as they claimed to be because up until that point, everything I had seen had been congruent, right? It had all been the same. But I think that was a circumstance. I don't think that was him initially starting out to try to use me. I think the distance got in the way. He was too much of a punk not punk. I don't want to say that. He wasn't strong enough to say the distance isn't working for me anymore, right? And so that circumstance happened. So that's kind of the only time that I can think of where a person was able to get over on me. Now, I think when I was younger, much younger, there were situations where it was happening and I probably knew it and just ignored the signs, right? Because it was more comfortable to to be fooled. Ignorance was bliss. But when you look back on, you're like, yeah, you knew. You weren't dumb. You knew. You couldn't have been that stupid. So, with youth, I think we've all gone through that to some degree, not knowing how to determine whether or not a person is genuine. But with age comes wisdom, and with wisdom comes the knowledge that I say this all the time too. In the beginning, we're all meeting each other's representatives. Everybody's putting on their best face. So the only way you are going to find out is to take your time and get to know the person.
Okay. So so you had the long distance one. Outside of like intimate relationships, have you ever had people try and use you for like maybe like your poetry talent or I don't know, crocheting or anything where you were
I
like,
don't
dang,
know if
I
I
thought this person's
see.
really my friend, but they really not, they really just using me.
No, I think I've had situations where people have tried to get over, right? But it was never anybody that I considered a friend necessarily. Like I've had people, oh yeah, I'm gonna order that. When I had the crochet business, I need that. I'm gonna order that. I'd go out, get the yarn, do the work, spend my money, and then when it's time to pay for the order, they never come through. Which is why I started requiring either a deposit or a payment up front. Because when you order from Amazon, you pay them people, right? You don't wait. They don't give you your stuff first.
It don't
So
matter how fast that shit coming. Amazon getting that
hello.
money first.
I stopped playing that game. So now if when I do decide to make and sell, then you either if it's a large amount, then I'll accept a deposit to at least cover the cost of yarn. But that's, I digress. But not a situation where I thought someone was truly a friend of mine and they devastated me. But that's also because I keep a very small, very tight circle. I have two people that I consider my best friends. One has been my best friend for about 25 years. The other one has been my best friend since high school, and I've been out of high school since 89. And she and I met in 87. So, it's years in that thing. And then my friends are my family, my sisters, my cousins, that kind of thing. So I'm a little I'm a little guarded when it comes to friendship anyway.
Got you.
But I have a question for Mr. Rain, if I may ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just really like I love that she did it, but I'm very curious as to why she didn't at least ask about the Black books. Like that would have been really hard for me not to ask. And then my question is, do you think he ever realized why you fell back? Not that you care, but I'm just curious.
You muted, Mr. Rain. You muted your mic, just to let you know.
I'm not sure. He tried to come over here one time and I told him don't. ever show up here again. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
You didn't feel the need to tell me that you was doing that, so I don't feel the need to tell you why I'm backing out. I mean,
that's a
Pretty
good
enlightening.
point. I love that. I think that's dope. But I don't know that I could do it because I'm her. I'm gonna be like, what the heck is all that. But I love that, and I think that that's the better way to do it, right? I think that's the
We
better way
have
to
been
do
involved so long. Them black books went back through our involvement and then years back.
it.
So you was already doing that. So by the time I came along and found out, I was just to add it to whatever you was doing. So at that point, I mean, I was just blessed to be up out of that without contracting something
Right.
that could
Amen to that.
affect the rest of my entire life.
Amen
You see
to
what
that.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because and back in that timing, it was a lot of things going on when women confronted men about, like, we had women that didn't come up out of safe when they
Right.
confronted men. So I'm always at that when I deal with men like that, I'm not getting into no argument with you. What I will do is calmly let you down. I'm gonna
Gotcha.
calmly let you down. Because a lot of women will da-da, da-da, da-da.
Yeah.
I'm not one of I
Hold
ain't
on,
one of them.
Mr. Rain.
Huh?
I'm gonna be honest. You know what you remind me of?
What?
You remind me of like a nice serial killer.
You shelf.
I'm being honest, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because you have
Please do.
because
Too calm.
you have this foundational level of calm that if you ever Mr. Rain, have you ever watched an interview with like serial killers like the Iceman or one of those people? And they're
I
just
don't
very
even know him. But I always
okay.
wanted to
So if you
talk
like
to
crime
Jeffrey
dramas,
Dahmer. So
yeah, so like you have this level of calm when most people
mhm.
wouldn't. And serial killers are that way. If you watch interviews with serial killers,
Mm-hmm.
like they'll just talk about it, but like, yeah, so I cut him up into about 40 pieces, and then I put him, in the cooler. I drove the cooler down to the pond. I put it in the pond, and then I just went back home and I ate dinner with my family. Matter of fact, I took my kids to the playground, and
Yeah.
then I got up and I went to work the next day. And when I got to work, the police were there, and that's how they tell the story. You're like, okay. When the average person
Where's
would,
excitement?
yeah, but you
Look,
the story
Shelf,
like,
I was not always like that. I did not always handle stuff in a calm manner.
uh-huh.
Over my years, I had to learn how to bring myself to a calm place in my life that I stopped allowing people to affect me. Now, there's certain things that might trigger me, but it's not going to trigger me to the point where I'm, when I look back and see where I came from, who y'all know today is not who I was yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. This calm side of me, no. I'm out the brick wall that I had put myself in. So to come out of where I was, I built myself up in this defense wall, and so I was always fighting back in the day, not physical, but with my mouth, with my frustration. But now I was ready to go. If you ready to go now, I mean, you look, I'm going ready to go there. But over the years, I've had to, because told you, I think I just told y'all about the guy last weekend. I told y'all about the guy on my job, and if I didn't walk away from him, it wasn't gonna look.
Yeah.
It, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if had that would have been years back, I probably would be maybe here telling you, yeah, I served 15 years. Well, what did you do? Oh, what? They
See, even that is a serial killer
Saying.
vibe, Mr. Rain.
Yeah.
No, but you gonna know I'm coming. It ain't like this calm person.
But that's
It's
not, but
not like,
that's who you used to be though. Now you just seem like your story would be like, yeah, so I loved him. And then I put the cyanide in his water over the course of 3 days. And before you know it,
oh,
he felt real sick. And he's just like, yeah. And then I went back to baking my cookies, but I didn't put the cyanide in them because I wouldn't put the cyanide on myself.
Oh, Lord.
And then they just sit there in silence, act like they whenever
Like it's normal.
yeah, like I'm telling you,
Like
go
it's
watch the
normal.
Iceman interview. I like Dr. Durain. Go
Well,
watch
if you watch Mom was like that.
Who?
Mom, watch the movie Mom.
Okay, now I never heard of it.
Neither.
It's on is it on Prime or Netflix? One
She
of them two.
talked just like that too, Mr. Ryan. She was crazy.
It's a movie
But
called Ma, like M.A.
MA.
Yeah, don't you know Octavia Butler? Is that her name? She was in The Help. And
Yes.
she made Miss Minnie Pie,
The
whatever.
black lady.
Yeah, that's her. That's
Yeah,
her. Yep.
Is that
she
the
was.
is that the hold on? Is that the lady that put the shit in the
Yes, her. Yes, her.
yeah.
But in the movie, she made friends with these school kids, and they
Oh,
used to.
Tara,
Oh,
let 'em
okay, okay. You
watch it.
gotta watch it. But she used to act like that though, just like that, talking real straight, no expressions, no highs or lows. It was just
But
talking
my
about
no high
it was
or low
regular.
is I'm gonna leave you be. Just like I let him listen. If I could walk away from my husband who did what he did out of being hurt, look, because some people's level is I didn't when you don't know how to handle something. So I'm glad of who I am. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like no serial killer because I ain't killing a. Well, I will kill a fly because I don't like flies, but I will. But I will not kill a human being. Then nobody. And that's so weird that you say that because I've had these conversations with my daughter, and I know what my God did for me, and I pray he do it for her. But she is the image of me in my youth. And I don't like it. And so I'm
Do you
always
think,
trying.
Ms. Duran, do you think she has the ability or the capacity to transcend it the way you have?
I'm praying. I'm a praying woman for my child because that girl there, that girl. Now that girl, look, I can't even tell her like she could not know that story about what I just told y'all.
Okay.
She I people always talk, I got somebody I could this came to me years back. Be careful what you tell her because you can help her catch a case.
And that's
You
how
see what I'm saying? Huh?
and that's how you used to be.
Oh, my middle sister, same way. Oh my
I'm,
goodness.
I'm
Yeah,
still like
no,
that.
To be
I'm
popping.
trying
no,
to not be like that, but I'm still like that.
no.
We know.
This catching a case, and no, there's nothing to me that is worth my freedom. Freedom is everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything, and the snap of a finger, you could lose it in the midst of an action
You know
because
what?
you did.
So real quick, and then Keisha, I'm coming to you because I want your opinion on the topic. So I'm gonna try to get to everybody. Over maybe the past week or so, I've been pondering on this saying that I hear people say a lot. And it's something to the effect of it'll be something like when people are angry, they show you who they really are. Or
Mm-hmm.
it's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always that's one of those statements that I just always just took. It was like, yeah, I feel you, I agree. But y'all know me, I like to question everything. And I'm like, do I believe that?
I don't.
And I'm not sure that I'm sold on that, right? I'm not sold
I don't.
on the idea that I'm going to quantify a whole person based on
Mm-mm.
what I perceive to be as their worst possible, or what just in general, we can say just their worst possible moment. Because let's say you spend 99% of the time being, I don't know, I hate good and bad, but a good person. And then there's 1% of the time where you're bad. And then we're going to quantify your whole existence based on the 1%. I'm not really sure I can subscribe to that.
You mean if somebody get upset and I'm not, they get upset, they get into a huge argument. You talking about that?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah. I mean, obviously, like if I found out my next door neighbor who he sits the trash cans out and I pull them up and we're cool. If I found out that he was a serial killer and had 8 bodies, regardless of the fact that he's nice to me, I'm like, yeah, y'all got to get him out of here because that's major, right? But I'm talking about whether it's within just an argument between two people or just something that you do on a whim, right? Like even
See, I think people say that because what the premise behind it is that when you're angry, you don't hide your emotions, so the real you comes out. But I think what people don't take into consideration, and the reason I don't buy into that is because I also feel like when people are angry, they do and say stuff just to hurt the other person or to anger the other person. And it may not be stuff that they mean. It may not be stuff that they really feel. It's what they know will get to you in that moment. So I don't subscribe to that thought that, now when they say a drunk mouth speaks a sober mind, I do believe that. That when a person is drunk, their defenses are down so much that they don't lie as much, they don't cover their feelings. But I think the angry thing is the same idea, that when you're pissed off, your real feelings come out.
Yeah, I was just questioning that. I'm like, I don't think I can. That's not a hill I would die on. I'm not dying on this hill that the worst version of you is the real you. I think the worst version of you is an aspect of you that you probably typically have under control and on a short leash. And in some circumstances will lead it to the point where that becomes the dominant you that is presented in the moment. But, I think there's people who are, and y'all know I'm pretty good at reading people. I can tell I can tell a bullshitter, right? But I do think there are people who will just say that are genuinely nice that say some mean shit sometimes.
I agree.
But when they're nice, they genuinely are nice. They really care about you. They'll really go to the end of the world for you. And then in another circumstance, they'll be like Mr. Rain and be like, yeah, so once I found the black book, I went upstairs, and it's just like that. But hold on, I want to get Keisha. Keisha, are you there? Irv to Keisha.
Yes, I'm here.
So let's reset it a little bit. What's your process for finding out whether or not someone is real or fake? And that it doesn't have to be within, male-female relationships, just in general. What do you have a process? What does it look like?
I clapped when Mimi said what she said because I just watch people. I'm listening and watching every single thing, even when you think I'm not. And when little flags start dinging in my head, I start looking to see what's going on. And if I'm really saying what I'm saying, then I might ask somebody very close to me because I know I overanalyze a lot of stuff. And if we on the same point, then I'm like, look, I don't feel as though I need to have lots of conversations with people when I choose not to be around them. I just disappear.
Okay.
That's me.
Just watch.
Disappear.
Okay. So the watching. But you also seek confirmation from somebody else that you feel is good at either reading people or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know myself. Sometimes I go off the deep end at times. But most of the time I'll be on point though. And for somebody else to let me know that I'm not silly, stupid, or crazy, then okay. Then I'm just gonna step back a little bit until, like Miss D said, you just totally out of the equation. I don't feel the need to have deep, long conversations about things with certain people in certain situations. So, yeah.
Remember I asked you, so I saw Keisha for the first time in about 10 years in person.
Really?
Yeah, and me and Red Titan got a picture together standing on the rocks outside the Longhorn with the Take Your Power Back post.
Y'all do.
And, I'll have to post it. But Keisha, I know that you're maybe the word is analytical.
Very.
So I just wondered, like, when people come into your life, do you be like,
yes,
and then try to figure it out?
Yes, it's Virgo shit.
Oh, yes. Is that what it is?
Yes, constantly computing. And then sometimes everything is going so fast in a moment, you don't realize some things until after the fact. And it's like, what? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, damn, I should have said this. Well, it don't matter.
That's
Dang,
the
I didn't realize.
Don't you hate it when you get into an argument and then 10 minutes later you think of the best one-liner to end that MF? You like it's time you kind of want to call them back and be like, can I just say this one thing?
Julie said she gonna call back.
Like, and let me tell you, look, Julie said she gonna call back. Matter of fact, so Cindy, I'm gonna come to you in a second. But since Mimi and Keisha are doing the Virgo thing, I gotta go to my Scorpio sister, Julie. Julie Bain, you there?
Hi guys.
How you feeling?
Hey, Julie.
That dog saying another thing. She's fucking one line. Julie.
Yeah, I'm here.
So Mimi and Keisha have this thing where they compute a bunch of stuff and then they maybe consort with a friend and figure out if you're on some bullshit or not. What's your process like? Is your process less computation and more just like straight out like, look, I think you're on some BS?
I feel like I do both, but I definitely just ask. But most of the time when I ask, I've already done my research.
So you're like internal affairs.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah, but then I ask my friend. So I have a process. I didn't realize it. I do my research, I investigate, I phone a friend, and then I ask the person.
So when you go through that process though, right? Because you've done research, you've asked a friend, you call your homie at the FBI, your sister girl at the CIA. So you already have all the information. Miss Durain is the type that once she has the information she needs, she's just gonna walk away and give you the slow burn and have you wondering, why did you lose Miss Durain? You're going to ask, what is your purpose in asking if you already have the information?
Because I want them to know that I know.
So, but if you want, okay, so if I want you to know something, I could just tell you. Why would you ask?
Because I want to see if they're lying.
Oh, okay. Lil said if you need questions answered, ask Julie to ask them because she's gonna find out.
Listen, I don't know why I'm like that, but I don't know. I just do. I just always wonder, like, why do people do what they do? And primarily, like, why do people lie about stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I hope that if and when I confront them, like, a part of me feels like maybe in the future they'll change their ways for whoever it is. But it's primarily because I want them to know that I know.
So do you get more enjoyment out of asking the question and seeing if they're gonna lie about it? Like are you playing this cat and mouse game because you already know that you got the rat in the trap and you just want to watch them squirm a little bit?
Yeah, sometimes I think so. That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Other times a lot of times I want to be like, man, I hope they prove me wrong. Like, I hope they say, like, that's my twin brother. What are you talking about? Or something.
Right. Huh. Okay. Cindy.
You hoping that people don't lie.
Yes, I'm hoping that people don't lie because, especially at this age, like, I still don't get it. What's the point of lying? But I don't know.
I told you before. I told y'all, we teach each other. I think we teach each other to lie, and I think it starts very early on in childhood, in terms of not being accepted for just who you are. Like, you think about how we raise kids and how, like, kids will do certain things, right? Kids will just do things that are just them, just naturally off the cuff. Like, I watch Finn because Libby's 7 now, so Libby has she understands, like, okay, as much as bad as it is, I have to hide certain portions of myself. That's just how life works. Finn isn't there yet. Finn is just like, hey, I'm about to just do what I want to do, and I don't really care. And so, eventually through being disciplined and shunned and celebrated and stuff like that, she'll realize there's aspects of me that aren't desirable, and she'll hide those portions of it. And I think that's where we begin to realize, like, okay, I can't just be me. Like you think you could just go be out here in public, just being who you are? No, 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 no. You're going to fit into the box. And then there's like the societal box, right? But then there's individual boxes based on relationships. You think about a teenage girl who wants to dress a certain way, but she'll wear the baggy clothes on top of
and up under that,
the
she
more
got the
provocative
sleeves
clothes. So
on.
that her parents have no idea that she's dressing this way. She's doing that because of she knows what her parents' reaction is going to be.
Or
Right,
the
but
opposite
that
for me, instead of wearing clothes that show your body, wearing really big ones because you know what the reaction is going to be and you're uncomfortable with it. Being
Right.
uncomfortable is a hard thing for people, no matter the age. And sometimes being truthful and the fear that comes with it is absolutely uncomfortable.
right,
Right.
and I understand that, but my question is, like, at what age, when does that, expire? Because
It
if
doesn't.
It
someone,
doesn't.
It's not an age thing.
Wait,
It's a
when does
choice.
what expire? Lying?
no, the idea that you have to fit into whatever it is that this person wants you to be, because, like, for example, with me, and I can only speak.
Right.
Julie, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Julie? She went out.
But it's not
She
an
bounced
age.
out.
You dropped out.
Yeah,
She dropped
it's
Well,
out.
not.
I think
There's no
it's
age.
not an age, it's a decision.
There you go, Miss
When
Gwen.
you
Absolutely.
when you get tired of trying to fit in boxes,
Absolutely right.
when you get tired, here I am. Learn to know people without immediately, that's my friend. That's my ride or die. How well do you know this? It could be a couple. It could be a female, it could be a male, male.
Mm-hmm.
How well, or what are you trying to gain? Are you able to stand on your 10 toes in this world without thinking that you need somebody? Having people in your life is wonderful. But as far as now that we're adult, I get what Julie, you back?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So, no, I was just saying, like, I feel like I give people the runway to, be who they are without um judgment. And I don't know why.
Like why they can't embrace the fact that you're just accepting of who they are for who they are.
Right, exactly. Like, when we were teenagers, that's a different age. When you're a child, it's a different age. When you're a teenager, it's a different age group. At this point in your life, you are who you are. Your life is your life. You, like, very few people are going to come into your life and really change it, to such a degree that you have to walk around behaving in a way that you want to try and fit in with them. Like, I feel like at this point, everybody should be who they are, to make sure you cut down on the time that the people that shouldn't be in your lives waste of your time.
But so you said something, Julie, right? And I forgot exactly how you put it, but my response was, but very few people are actually willing to accept people for who they are. So, and that's just, I'm just giving you an explanation as to why the lying or the hiding of the true self continues. I can understand it because I'm pretty accepting of people too. Like I'm not a very judgmental person. I don't really care what you, to be honest, I don't really care what you got going on, right? Like if you cool with me, we good. But I know that everyone isn't like that. And most people aren't like that, in my opinion. And because most people aren't like that, and then you go into the psychology of it to where humans are pack animals and you don't want to get kicked out of the pack. You want to be included in your pack. So it's a very natural thing to hide your true self in order to maintain or gain the approval of people that you want to be accepted by. So when someone comes along say like Julie, that's an outlier, it's a little more difficult to believe that you're an outlier because no one else is an outlier. Why would you be any different?
That's what I wanted to say, that it's a learned behavior, and it's a learned behavior that's been reinforced by their experiences. So they've been running into people who don't accept them. You could be the most accepting person in the world, but you're one out of how many have I dealt with in the past? So it's going to be really hard for me to trust that you are this beautiful ray of light that doesn't judge when 99% of the people I've met have been that other type of person. So that's a big part of it.
Yeah. So that's,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm understanding that now. And I'm just like, I'm gonna just keep my 3 friends and everybody else can, what is it that Chell says? Kick rocks?
Kick rock.
Yeah,
You got to add
I
with
don't.
your flip flops on in a dark alley somewhere, Julie Bean.
All right. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's in my opinion, that's why it's and another good analogy is kind of how it is with work. How most of us don't really do jobs or work at places that we really, really like want to. So we'll go to work and pretend like we're working or pretend like we're doing something or do just enough. But when it's evaluation time, we like, nope, I should get the best eval. But we know that essentially what we've done is go to work every day and pretend to be a good employee so that we can maintain our level of income and lifestyle. I think people want what they want. And I think on some deep level, all of us to a degree feel like me just being who I naturally and authentically am isn't enough to get me that which it is I want. So we hide our true self, we put on our mask, put our representative forth because we think our representative has a better shot of getting whatever it is that the real me really wants. And in relationships, you could keep the mask on long enough to make someone fall in love with you, right? And then it's more difficult for them to leave. So I think that, plays a role too. But let me get to Cindy and then we're going to continue on. What's up, Cindy? What's happening?
Not much. Just sitting here chilling, listening in.
What have you ever, what's your process for finding out if someone is real or fake, like in your life?
Well, well, fake and real, you can really tell by the energy the person gives off, in their conversations and in their tone and their demeanor. And where with other people, you can just look at them, hear them, and know that that's like a front or a fake or like a punt fake or just something where this person is totally different. It's almost like they're pretending, like they're acting. Acting is fake, where being real is like authentic. Although it's kind of sometimes hard to whatever, but there's a lot of times where I've been accused fake because the atmosphere around me changed my demeanor and my tone and my character a little bit. I'd go from crazy to this or mimicking this or that, and people would be like, "Oh, look at her, she's fake." I'm like, "No, I'm just having fun." And then another person would be like, "Oh, well, you don't know this," blah blah. I was like, "Whatever, I'm not even going to go into that." So for me, you could tell just by who's real and who's fake and who's just pretending and who's actually okay. Wow, you could really feel it in her tone, her energy, what she gives off or what they give off.
Gotcha.
And attitude too,
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for Cindy.
Yeah.
How do you look at somebody and know if they're real or they're fake?
Well, it comes down to that exercise that we did with the folding the hands, the reading the body language, as a type of way of,
I understand what
it's
you're
just
saying,
how
Cindy. I understand what you're
I
saying.
think I'm not saying it the way that I'm supposed to say it, but all it is just acting, and you can actually literally look at somebody and be like, "Oh, well, she's definitely fake. I mean, look at that compared to that person. Oh, that's definitely real." So it all comes down to like the class that we did. I think it was effective communications, or was it emotions allowed? Something where we were
It's in
reading.
both of them.
Okay, so we were reading body language. So it's kind of like that with
But
their
isn't
demeanor.
reading body language reading someone's emotional state at that moment?
Yep. Yep.
So
And that's
how is that
basically, how is that what?
knowing if someone's real or fake?
Oh, I wish I could give an example, but I can't because I don't have an example in front of me. Okay. So it's basically, it comes down to their presentation on how they present like a topic. Okay. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to pretend that I'm mad about something that probably I ain't got no business being mad at, but I'm just going to jump in and make it my business, even though it's not my business because I haven't been there. Where somebody who's actually been through it, you can tell that it's real. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm pretending and making this up just so that way I can look tough, where actually I've been through this, I'm feeling this, so I am tough. That's how
Oh.
I perceive it as.
Does
So
that
it's
make
like,
sense,
well,
Julie?
No, not really. But I guess with
maybe you can
time
jump
I'll
in, Shell.
understand.
Well, so I understand what you're saying, Cindy.
Go
I
ahead
think.
and see if you can put it into a perspective that somebody else could.
Well,
I might not be saying it.
I think that like it's easier to give an example, but the example has to be in the extreme
Mm-hmm.
in order for it to like really make sense. So I don't know if I don't know, like let's say we were doing the show and y'all know how I normally am, but then I don't know, some celebrity comes into the room for some reason, and then I begin to present in a way that I don't normally present. And y'all looking at
Yeah.
me, that ain't the real
Right.
hell, right?
Yeah, but that's because we've had the time to get to know you and how you behave and who you are and how you present yourself. But I can't look at someone and be like, oh yeah, they're fake. I
I
don't,
think
I
so.
mean, teach me
I
that,
think
Cindy. I don't know how to do that.
I think
I don't
like
want to do it.
so. This is what I think. I think like you imagine how people, because some people present so much that every time you see them, they're giving you their representative, but you know that they're not walking around their house like this, right? You just kind of know. Like if I came in here and was like, "Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mars Mindset. Today we are going to have a discussion." You'd be like, "There's no way this dude is walking around the house talking to his wife and his kids in that manner." Even if this was your first time here, you like he's just presenting. And so I understand what Cindy is saying. But
Well,
it
he
can
ain't
be
saying
difficult
that.
because it can be difficult to catch. I got you, Ms. Durain. It can be difficult because people do exist on a spectrum. So, there's like a baseline version of us. And there's an angry Chels, and then there's a happy Chels and a sad Chels. And all of those are real versions of me based on what it is that I'm experiencing. So just because like today, like I'm like, man, I'm kind of tired, right? Y'all know, like, oh no, Chelsea, he's really tired. I'm not pretending, like, no, look at my eyes, I'm tired. But there are times when I'm tired and I come on and I do what has to be done, right? And both of those, the tired version of me is the real one, and what I'm presenting is a real version. It's just not as authentic as to how I'm truly feeling at the time because I'm creating a product, right? I'm actually doing something. And so but what Cindy is talking about is being able to watch a new person say into the space, and in your mind, you're like, there's no way that this person is always, this ain't their normal mode of being.
But does that make them fake, or does that make them like in that, like I see what Julie's saying, because that's in that moment. Just because I'm behaving that way I'm in a new environment around new people, I might act a little bit different because I'm nervous or I'm guarded or whatever. That doesn't make me fake overall as a person. That may be that I'm, all those other things. So I think that's the question is, how do you know that a person is just fake overall by an instant interaction?
I'm not sure you can know it. I'm not sure you can know that they're fake overall because you don't have the time, right? Like you talked about, you don't have the time to say. But even in that one moment, you could say, well, I don't think that's how they just are on a regular Jay,
I get that.
like, you know how like you take a class, right? You take a class and the teacher's like everything's proper and presented and everything's good and all of this, or and you like, you did a good job on the presentation. But I know when this shit over, you're gonna be like, hey, look, nigga, you trying to go back and smoke a jack because I'm tired. And I'm saying people can pick up on it. I don't particularly say, oh, like that person is a fake, like you just all out fake, but that's not the authentic them in that moment. If that's what Cindy's saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the thing that I'm saying is that fake is pretending to be something you're not, like all the time. So eventually you're going to get tired of the fake and you're going to want to look for the real.
Okay. Are you talking about the person? Are you talking about the faker?
What?
Are you talking about the person who you said eventually you're gonna get tired of the fake and you're gonna seek out the real? Are you talking about
Because
the person
there's people, you can tell who's pretending all the time, and it's like they're either creating drama, they're either faking drama, or they're just being fake about what's going on. Okay. But then you give them a problem solution and they're coming back and they're still being fake about it. When really it's not really what happened to you. You're just making it about you.
Okay.
So it's just basically a false sense of presentation to the other person, which makes them fake. Now, I've been called fake numerous times and I've had to point out being real, but that was just because, you whatever, I was looked at by that. But you can tell by a person's character and demeanor if they are actually genuine or they're pretending. And I think using fake is being kind of twisted up a lot because there's a lot of fake this, fake news, fake this, fake that. So what the hell is really fake? Where I just like pretending is a form of fake, like you're pretending to be something you're not. Please stop acting and be real. Be who you are. Be authentically you. Don't pretend to be somebody else just because everybody else is acting like that. There we go. Hello. Pretend to be you, the authentic you. Don't act like everybody else out here just because it's the common trend. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. That's how you could tell somebody's being fake. If you're copying somebody or mimicking somebody and you're not being authentically you.
Got you.
Ms. That's Durant, what I'm trying to say.
I got you. I understand. I understand what you're saying. I got you anyway.
Cool.
Ms. Durant, you still got your hand up. You had something?
I do. I think people really try to read into people too much. To me, after you done experience life, the end result is what is it that people want from people? To be wanting to read into that person. What is it that people would want from people? Is it your friendship? Okay, well, let the friendship just roll in. You ain't got to force it. You ain't got to fit it. You ain't got to try to pretend that you're something that you're not. Just be who you are. Be your authentic self. And that should be fine. But I think people read into people. When you go to job, and you hear people say this, you the new person on the job. People come and tell you about your supervisor. You don't know nothing about your supervisor. Now all of a sudden you're gonna know something, and it's up here. You're gonna look for this negative stuff in her because this is what was told, instead of letting me find out for myself who this person is. That's not what happens. So now I got a whole negative energy because all I'm hearing is negative context about this particular person. And I really don't think people really learn people. I think people, they try to fit themselves somewhere.
Hold on.
You don't have to.
So I understand. I understood everything except for the last part. I understand what you're saying. You're saying like we will see a person through the lens of a filter that someone else has given us to see that person through. So that makes sense to me. What's the last part? What's the last part? What you're saying?
Like Well, that's it.
Okay.
You you know, we don't have to walk. Okay. When I woke up to this years ago about feeling like I had to fit in. And this is in real life. This ain't on IG. This ain't it. This was real people. Feeling like, oh my God, am I fitting in? Am I, wow, they're not, you know, I don't know if I feel comfortable. I had to get to a point where I had to let that all go because that'll drive some people crazy. Oh, they talking about me. Oh, they don't like me. Oh, they said this, they said, and people ain't even thinking about you like that. But in your head, this is how you see it because you're wanting something. You want, just relax. Just, if it happened, it happened. And if, you know, hey, how you doing? Hi, how are you? And then if, let's go to lunch. If that happens, let it happen. But I think people read into people and then they mess themselves up because who you might have read, however you might have read that person, that ain't even who that person is in real life. But you didn't give them an opportunity to even know. You could have met a very great person that could have been your great friend, but because you read a person wrong, you missed the opportunity.
Got you. Got you. So I want to talk to Isaiah and then Dr. Hawk. Isaiah, you there?
Yeah, I'm
He
here.
clapped early. Oh, there he is.
I know he so being a younger guy in terms of friendships or with, you know, with the ladies and stuff like that, how do you discern between someone who's really down for you or someone who's maybe just using you or just present for something that's beneficial for them?
For me, I started like doing something different than I used to do. Like I got a friend who's in the streets and he's been to jail and he's basically told me like what you need to do when you start being around people is like don't say too much and like just keep it pushing high and by and like just keep like a stern face, like don't be laughing too much. So like when it comes to like friends, I meet new people, I don't really joke around no more. I just be silent, just watching. And it's like if certain things I see that they're doing that like how like I see they treat like somebody and I get like a vibe on the inside. I just be like, yeah, bro, watch out for that dude. Like I don't think niggas is fucking with you, my friends. I'm talking like how I talk to all my boys. I'm like, I don't think niggas is fucking with you, bro. Like, just keep it cool and just watch your back with certain shit. And sometimes I'll be right, sometimes I'll be wrong, and sometimes I just like let them figure out for themselves. But when it comes to women, like I notice by like just a feeling I get. Right, so let's say like one time I'm over here spending money on a girl, and in my head I'm like, all right, I'm spending all this money, but she ain't like talking to me or like trying to like go out with me or anything like that. So it's like, all right, now I'm wasting my time here, and I know I'm wasting my time, but I'm not doing anything about it. So it's like I'm here watching her and I'm peeping it, and I'll go to my boy and be like, yo, bro, like, how do you maneuver this situation? He'd be like, yo, bro, it sound like she's using you. Like, you don't, like, you know what you're doing, but you're being dumb and you're not like trying to like leave out that situation. So I just feel like for me, it's just like my intuition, because my intuition never be wrong. Like I found out one time that my ex smashed one of my bros. He's not my bro no more, but I
Hold on,
found out like,
you said you found out that your ex smashed one of your bros?
yeah, like
Okay,
this is
I was
like
trying
when
to
I
make sure I
was,
heard you. I was trying to make sure I heard you
oh,
correctly.
yeah, like this is like when I was in high school and I found out from a dream. Like I was sleeping and then I just dreamt and it was like she was in a dream and she was doing something with somebody. And I was like, what the fuck? So I texted her about it. I'm like, yo, bro, what was you doing? She's like, oh, I wasn't doing nothing. Why are you bugging me, going crazy? Come to find out, she tells me on the bus, oh, she and him did have sex. And I'm like, yo, I was correct. Then I found out, like, from my recent ex, they're like, I'm like, yo, bro, you and your best friend, y'all are two act like y'all are together in a relationship. Like I'm just watching it. And I had a dream that they was gonna be together or some shit was gonna happen. And when we break up, come to find out some shit happened. So I'm just like in my mind, I just feel like it's my spiritual intuition. Like, my spirit don't ever like keep me or stir me wrong. I just be peeping things. I dream it, it happens, and I'm like, bro, what's up? Like, why are you trying to sit up here and lie? Because for me, I just stay quiet and I just watch. I just like keep it pushing. I don't really try to get into people's business no more for certain things. Yeah,
Got you. So you heavy on the intuition.
yeah, I'm never wrong. Because I got this saying from 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. If I'm wrong, I could be right, but then I could still be wrong, something like that. And ever since I heard that quote, I live by that quote, and I've never ever been wrong. Because I could have been wrong, but for some reason, somehow, I'm always right at the end. So that's my favorite quote.
Got you. Yeah, my intuition has led me on some truths too. So I feel you on that. On the you were talking about you spending money and she might be using you. One of the benefits of being a younger guy is that when you're young, you're still just potential. So when you're potential, you don't have to spend money as much to find out if a female likes you. If you've
What do
already
you
been
mean by
spending,
potential?
like you're not, I mean, you have the potential to be the great man that women want, but you're just not there yet because you're young, right? So like you don't have the same people, none of us as a society, we don't have the same expectations. Like, because you're 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nobody has the same expectations for you that they have for me. I'm 40, right? So I'm 40. So at some point they're just like, hey, look, you just are who you are, right? If I haven't fulfilled the potential by now, no one's choosing me based on any potential. I just am who I am. But when you're 20, especially if you're talking about your earning power or your ability to protect and provide, that increases as you get older. So when you're 20, when you're younger, when you're 20, 21, 22, the level of expectation for you to be able to protect and provide and all of those other things that we expect 40-year-old men to do, you don't have as heavy of a burden. So with that, there's a benefit in that, meaning it gives you the time to not spend money on a woman. And as opposed to doing something, going on a date with her where you have to spend money, right? To show that you can protect and provide per se, you can say, hey, let's go to the park. Now you could do that as an older guy. It's just there's more expectation on an older guy to be willing to spend more, to be willing to spend money because there's an expectation that you have it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you like her and you kind of like, I feel like I'm spending too much money, stop spending money. Keep spending time, but slow down on the amount of money you spend and find out what her reaction to it is.
I peeped that. I figured that out like later on because one of my bros, like I told him about it. He was like, I, I'm talking like how like me like and my friends we talk. So forgive me for cursing. I'm trying not to curse as much, but he was like, bro, my nigga, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, yo, bro, she's obviously using you, bro. Stop spending money on this chick, bro. Like, no, don't do it, bro. I'm telling you, if you do it, bro, I swear to gosh, bro, I'm cutting you off. I'm like, all right, bro, I ain't gonna do it. So then I stopped, and she's still cool. Like, we still hanging out. Like, we still cool, you know. Like, we still talk. She still checks up on me and stuff like that. So I know she's not all about the money situation. But for me, I used to believe that, like, oh, as a man, you gotta lead with your pockets. But now as I'm going through my journey and like I'm meeting like older people and mentors and each and every one of y'all is like putting me in. Sorry, my headphones cut off. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I actually hear you better now than I did before.
Hold up. Damn, I cannot hear y'all. Hold up. Hold up. Hello?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so my headphones died. But so yeah, he's from all the mentors I'm like learning from and stuff like that. I'm starting to realize that, and I'm talking to like older women on my job too. So it's like I'm starting to realize that with women, how I used to think about it, I was being led wrong, and I was like taking the advice and information wrong. So whereas now, like I'm understanding that it's not your pockets that like really determine a factor. It's really how you carry yourself and like how you approach a situation. Because if you approach somebody with your money, they obviously just gonna say, "All right, I'm just gonna use it for your money." But if you approach them with your knowledge and your thoughts and your thinking, then you can like understand and see like from a far perspective like how the reaction is really gonna be with you rather than how it is with your money.
Yeah, facts. Be you, right? And whoever is willing to, you know, appreciate you for who you are is the person, you know, especially we talking about, you know, women, is the person who gets to reap the benefits of you when you have your money. And that, but I mean, that goes for friends too, because you'll have friends that'll hang around to get some benefit from you too. So
That's true. I don't really got too many friends. I cut a lot of people off. Like, I only got like, I got my day ones, but like, I hardly even talk to them. So I really just be by myself. I just noticed that my peace has gotten 10 times more better. So I don't know. I don't really think I got any issues with the friend department because I don't really got
call
too
it
many friends.
addition by subtraction. So increase your peace by subtracting away things that take your peace away. Dr. Hope,
Hello,
what's that?
guys.
What's that? How you feeling?
How's- I'm good. How's everyone?
I don't know how everyone doing, but I feel like I need some sleep. I can't speak for none of these
Well,
other
I
people.
know I need some sleep.
Yeah. So
I
Dr.
need
Hope,
some.
how do you what's your process for finding out if someone's presence in your life is real or fake?
So, I am a person that keeps a small circle, and I do it purposely. But I know that I have a gift of discernment,
Mm-hmm.
and I something passed down from my mom because I remember my mom, she really had it because she would tell me about my boyfriends the first time she met him. And I wish I would have listened to her every time until I met Tom and I said, okay, I'll listen this time. But um, but even with the gift of this, even with the discernment or intuition, whatever you want to call it, I do give people the benefit of the doubt until,
So they prove
and give them an
otherwise.
opportunity. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard you
Yeah.
got into it. I heard you got into it the other day, Dr. Hope.
Ooh.
What
You
happened?
know how I feel. You know how I am.
You
You
ready?
know how I
You ready to tell me
how
this thing? So you know how I am, Chels.
you know how I am about respect, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and there are certain conversations, like I lurk around on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I keep quiet and I just listen. And there are certain topics that I really feel as though that I'm doing a disservice by not speaking up, right? So for this certain situation, um, our friend Chicken was called to the carpet regarding him allowing someone else on his platform to disparage the name of Black woman and taking part in that conversation. Um,
Hold
and
on.
just allow.
Because I don't want to lose you, right? You're saying Chicken had someone else come on his platform and was being disparaging to Black women, and this is Black women in general.
in general. It's
Okay.
and Chicken was questioned as well as, they were trying to get, the regular players like Sincere and Been Ready too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they've allowed this man to come and speak this rhetoric, and it disparages Black women because he is of another race. And it's like one of those things like men, are you really allowing this to happen? And Chicken was called up, and I'm gonna tell you, like, the guy Picasso, the man had something to say about Picasso, calling him a PUSSY for him dealing with Nola. So, they was trying to get him in the live to really like to explain why he, made this comment. And then like in that moment, Picasso was like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm trying to see who are these men that allows this man to come up and talk about Black women, right? And I look at it like this, and I said it before. Like, if I'm talking to you about my sister, like I can talk about my sister, but you don't say nothing about my sister, right? But they allow him to do it. It's the same guy that faked his death and all of that, right?
Okay.
And
Okay. So pause right there just for a second. I don't have no. You good. You know you're moving at a good pace. I'm just letting you know. Outside of Chicken, I don't have any idea who these people are.
Right.
Okay.
I know you don't. I know
Okay.
you don't. But
I mean, I know some of them. Like if you would have said, like, I know Ben Ready, I know Sincere, but the Picasso person, I wouldn't know him from a can of paint. So
right. So but they, so he was questioning, them, like, why or do you allow this white man to basically come up and talk about Black single mothers? How do y'all deal with Black women? Like that kind of rhetoric. Like, and the man's name is Red Pill Mike. I'll just put that out there, right?
okay, I've seen that name before. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So of course, this is one of those things that of course, I need to, I'm commenting, I'm making statements, this, that, and the other. So the live had ended, then said had went live to continue the conversation. And said. So
Mr.
said
Independent.
said, yep, independent, yep.
Okay.
So he brought Chicken up to continue the conversation. And I was getting mad, I was getting heated. So my comments was like, because he kept going back to he kept deflecting from the conversation and then would go into, these 304s, these 304s, that, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I texted, like, you are attracting, you're low vibrational because you're attracting low, it's like, and I didn't say you, I just said low vibrations attract low vibrations. I don't know if that was the comment, but he didn't say something to me until said explained to him, right? Because he went to Black women are leading in abortions, Black women leading in divorce, Black. So said asked him, are you talking about in numbers purely? And he was like, yes, in numbers, not percentage. He was like, well, that's impossible since Black people only make up 13% of the United States. So it can't be pure numbers. So I said, so that data doesn't fly, even, if you put the numbers to numbers, because, the percent of the population that, Black women make up. And I said, so that doesn't fly. So he spoke to me directly and said, listen to this, Chels.
I'm listening.
Dr. Hawkins, where's your husband? Where's your husband? Why are you like, you don't have the right
So hold on, Dr. Hawk. Let's pause right there. Are you on the panel at this point, or are you in the comments?
I'm not on the panel. I'm just in the comments.
Okay, I got you.
So I'm just in the comments, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, he's like, where's your husband? It's 8:00 at night. Why? What did he say? You should. Why you ain't making, like, you don't really want to know what my husband is for real. Like, you really don't, right? So I just felt as though that was very disrespectful. Like, don't do that. Don't ask me where my husband is because you're trying to deflect from the conversation. This fire that's on you.
Uh-huh.
So, and that's what he did. So of course, I cammed up because that was, it triggered me because you know how I am about respect. Don't disrespect me. And at that point I hadn't disrespected him, but I was just questioning, do you check him? Why haven't you? Why do you allow this to occur? And even I was trying to give him facts like how Planned Parenthood was developed to control Black population, like things like that, right? And he kind of added me and was like, where's your husband? I mean, Tom was at work, because y'all know when my baby come home, I'm not on these internets. Only time he give me now is like Wednesday nights, because he knows I do voices from Venus. But Tom had worked overnight. He's like, you should be cooking and sitting down with your family. But again, and I didn't explain none of this to him, and I didn't have to. But on Sundays, my dinner is cooked by 4:00. So like, but it just, the disrespect. I was like, don't you ever ask me. You don't have a right to ask me where my husband is, right? I said, don't do that. I felt disrespected.
Okay. So
that's how I got into it with Chicken.
Okay, yeah, because like I told you, I got forced to work overtime today. So Lil called me at some point this morning and was like, Dr. Hawk got into it with Chicken? And
was
I was
Lil
like,
there the whole time?
yes.
Because I think Derain was up there
Lil was on the live?
Lil was listening to the live. Lil was watching the live. She wasn't on the panel, but she
she was in the live.
Yeah, Lil be listening to a lot of lives. Lil listen to a lot of lives.
She lurked like I do. I'll go when I be like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lil's a lurker. Lil's a heavy hitter. She's a lurker. But let me stop telling on my wife.
Because you know how you go in and y'all see Smiles just cuz was here, and I was like, oh, she ain't in here no more. She was
there. She go right there. She just came back into the room. Somebody must have somebody must have hit her up and told her, "Hey, Dr. Hawk talking about what happened between you and Chicken." So it's a couple of things. And maybe I don't know. I might have to call you offline and ask you the questions, because I have questions.
And I did, and I started to say something because I came up and I was heated, and I was like, Chicken, don't do that. And see, I think he just assumed, because like I know people like where he claimed he works at, which I don't believe he does, right? He's a sheriff that works in Philadelphia. He works in the city and this and that and the other. And I was saying to him, don't do that, because the stuff you saying, like I got people, but said was like, no, Dr. Hawks. I was like, I'm not saying do nothing to him physically, because my people have passed that.
But
now,
if you know said
I got some
is
too.
But
if
said
I wanted
is
to, I don't do
a said is a first of all, ex-cop itself. And secondly, he's the peace. And that's why he was like, no, doctor, no.
He probably didn't want me to go there like he did, because he done cussed out that other man just last week and called him the N-word. Was like, I said, oh my God.
Yeah, that was Mitch.
Yeah. But
I mean, as far as Red Pill though, and Chicken, really and honestly, if Chicken, he liked to poke the bear.
Right. So hold on, because I don't want to lose it. I'll ask you this one question, and we can talk about the rest of it later. That all. Why have the? Well, I guess because I guess you gave me the answer, because I know you and Carl are similar in the sense that you don't feel like people should be able to spew those types of things and infect the minds of other people.
No, and this is. And I'll say this, and I told Chicken, it's like, because I do believe something, like we talk right about how these little girls are, so it wasn't that, and I was telling him that, right? And I was telling him that I'm not against what your mindset is and what you speak, but my thing is, like, Black man, stand up, right? That's where I was,
So let me ask you.
And I also told him, I said, but you can speak to who you want to speak to, right? And you can talk about what you want to talk to. Because I'm gonna tell you, the Red Pill guy, I went in one live with him, and I said I will never go to someone else's platform with the man on there, because he's highly disrespectful. But I still think that, they talk about, are we divided as, a black race when it comes to men? Yes, we are. But if men keep keeping the mindset of, oh, well, if they don't belong to me, I'm not going to stand up for them, we'll continue to be divided. That's just not thought about it. And I'm not saying go fisticuffs with these people over, but when you see that this is happening on a platform, you need to check that. Like, that's not okay. I just feel that way.
But who did you want to check them?
I just want I just want them to not allow him. Like, they can have their own thoughts, but like, keep it in the family. Keep it in the family. That's what I'm saying. Like, these black men that allow him, and people keep allowing him on their platform to disparage the name of black women.
Okay,
and that's
so
why I felt as though I needed to say something, and I'll continue to say that. Yeah, so
I got you. Yeah, I mean, it's the same case basically, that it's not a micro argument, it's more a macro perspective. I was wondering, I have my answer, but the question I was wondering is, like, I think that some people, like, say, let's say Dr. Hall, let's say you and I are having a conversation, and we disagree, right? And you say something that triggers me, right? Or I say something that triggers you, right? That's not an intentional thing. That's just how the conversation plays out, right? I think Chicken said stuff specifically to trigger people, right? Like, right? And so then that makes me wonder, I'm like, well, I don't really like having conversations with people that I feel are disingenuous, and specifically are just saying things to trigger me or someone else. If it happens in conversation, it happens because we all have triggers. But I don't understand. When Lil was telling me, I was like, why would Dr. Hawk even bother knowing that he's so, because Lil told me that about him asking you about where your husband was. And in my mind, I'm like, that's something that he said. Like, I'm with you, Dr. Hawk, in terms of Chicken having some of the perspectives that he has. I believe he genuinely believes, and like, those are his stances. But when he says, Dr. Hawk, where's your husband? He's doing that, in my mind, he's doing that specifically to trigger you.
Exactly. And if I had
but he originally was saying he wasn't talking to her because she was married. He was basically talking about unmarried women with children, women, and he was saying to her when she wasn't even up there,
when
where's
Dr.
your
Hope
husband?
No. When Dr. Hope came up there, he said he specific. He doubled down on that thing, and
yeah, and that's the thing.
But in the beginning, no, Lil, it was from her being in the comments when he was up there and she was in the comments, and he was asking her, "I'm not talking to you. Why are you even up here? It's 8:00 at night. Where's your husband?"
No, this is what he said. He responded to me while I was in the comments, and he said my name specifically. He was like,
he said, Dr.
Hawkins, where's your husband? I'm not even talking to these married women no more, because he did it, and he did it intentionally, right? But for me, the way I do things is, and it's at my job. Like, if I let you disrespect me one time and don't check you on it, you're gonna think it's okay to do it again. And that's not my stance on things. Just like when you went off on that man for disrespecting your wife.
No, right? I get right. So I understand that, right? I understand that if someone disrespects you, you hold the line. The thought that was running through my mind is Dr. Hawk already knows what this is. So why it's from my perspective, because you got to remember, I didn't see the live, right? So I'm just getting it third party. I'm like, why even bother? Right? Because you know what you're walking into. So that's what was going through my mind. But I also know, like, you and Carl, you and Carl are similar in the sense where you're like, you'll fight the macro battle on a micro battlefield because of the implications of other people. Right. I respect that. I get that, because me and Carl had that same. Carl and I were on live months and months ago for an hour and a half having that debate. And when he finally explained to me, like, no, Chels, it's because those people can have whatever perspective that they want. I don't like the fact that they use their perspectives and infect other people with a negative worldview,
Right.
and that's why I go and fight that. Because y'all know me, I'm like, man, I'm not arguing with them dudes, yo. I'm not here for that.
But Dr. Hawk was just there in the comments, and he made it personal when he said her name, and that's why she engaged in the conversation. Before, she was just, like everybody, just being in the comments. So that when he made it personal,
but he was deflecting, Leo.
Yeah,
he was deflecting because he didn't want to address Shell, and with Shell, it started on Picasso's live, and it was getting ready to go, and Picasso's live went down, and really, it wasn't even about Chicken. Chicken was being addressed because he hangs out with Red Pill, and Red Pill had said something about Picasso's girl. So the whole thing started somewhere else.
And he said,
and he wanted to address the Red Pill guy, and he was telling Chicken, I know who to come to, you, because you always with Red Pill. It wasn't even supposed to have been about Chicken. Chicken was just being used as a prong to get Red Pill into the live. And from there, Picasso was going to address Red Pill about what he said about Nola. So that's how it all started. Said took on the fight when the live went down. Said came up, everybody went over there, and it ended up being a Chicken thing. Wasn't about don't nobody even care.
And you guys know, only time like Chicken, I will never cam up on. The only time that I've cammed up with Chicken is okay. I'll let him come on, like he came on Voices from Venus or with you, like in other people's lives. I'm not camming up with him, but I really felt disrespected, and I felt as though I needed to address it because you asked me where my husband and where in reality. You really don't want to know where my husband is, and want to know where my husband is. And for him to know that you're asking where he is, like you need to pull back because this is my thing. Like I have men in my life that are protectors, so don't do that. Don't do that.
I got you. He made it personal, so that's why I got you because he called you out specifically. Cool. I just, I was like, damn, Dr. Hawkman took the bait.
You know how I am about respect.
I know. That's why I said Dr. Hawkman took the bait. That's why when Lil told me, I was like, oh, Dr. Hawk took the bait.
I felt disrespected.
Keisha said, we know us, LOL. These are IG people. Yeah, so like we know him from Instagram. We don't know him like we know like ourselves.
Oh, no, we don't know him. He been going around saying this crazy stuff for a couple years now, and it's real. He's so dry. That's why I really don't believe nothing he be saying because his monotone stays just like this the whole entire conversation.
And it's like, and that's why I was telling him. I said, and I'm not saying because like the people around, I wouldn't put my people in position to come and be in jail, but at the same time, I know some people that are connected to where you say you work that'll mess up your mind a little bit, right? So like don't do that because they'll approach you and say something, but not, on that tip or on that point, but like because my family, they got, they in every
anytime you tell somebody you gonna jump off a roof and hit them in the head with a hammer, first of all, what you doing up on the roof? Okay.
Anyway. I ain't say that. I ain't say that.
Hey, no, you didn't say it. Chicken said it. Go ahead.
Lil, I saw you were muted. I mean, you were unmuted and muted. You had something else?
No, I'm sorry. I was walking into the church. And I had to get Libby, so I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to say that my favorite line was, "I'm not who I used to be, but I know some people who are." Dr. Hawk. She was not playing.
Got you. So, and we'll have this conversation another day. But
yeah, that's my story. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but I saw Lil was in there too, but I didn't know she was in there from the beginning.
Okay.
I was heated.
Abortion rates by race and ethnicity. When is this from? I don't know what the date on this is, but Oh, it's from 2017. But what it says is it's a chart. Matter of fact, I'll show it. Matter of fact, I don't want to do that because I don't feel like editing that.
It's Black People Statistics. Is it that website?
It's gutmocker.org. I just Googled it or Binged it or whatever. But they rate it per 1,000 women aged 15 to 45. And so I guess the number is for it says Black non-Hispanic 27.1. So I'm guessing out of 1,000 Black women, 27 would have an abortion, right? I guess that's the general statistic. And then it says Hispanic is 18.1, other non-Hispanic is 16.3, and then white non-Hispanic is 10. So when you were talking about him making that argument, it made me want to look it up and see when people, because you hear people say that I guess they're talking about from a percentage standpoint as opposed to just a sheer numbers standpoint.
And that's what said asked him, are you talking numbers or are you talking percentages? And he said, I'm talking numbers, because by and large, if you think about 10% of the Black population versus the 10% of, the white population,
so if we were to do basic math, right? I can't do it because I don't I'm using my phones. So essentially what
that was his argument. He was talking about numbers in large, not even percentages.
Like, what's 10% of what's 36 is 360 million times 60%.
So that's 36. So 10% would be.
But but we have to find 60%. We have to find 60% because say white people are 60% of the 360 million, right?
Oh, okay. You talking about
so you would have to find 60% of 300 whatever million, and then do whatever that number is times 10%, and then you would have to do 40 million, right? Times. You understand what I'm saying? Like you would have to go through the math to get the number.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why he needs to understand, like when you're saying that Black people only make up, I think it was 13.4% or 12.9.
That's what Shell said yesterday. He said 13.
Of the population.
We only make up. Shell had the number. This conversation has been before. They didn't dissect the numbers. They done did all this with chicken.
Mr. Rain been getting names wrong. I think he meant say it. She meant say
what?
He meant say it.
Yeah, I know what she meant.
Shells. Yeah.
Oh no. You know I mean shells.
No, I got you.
I don't even know a chicken.
I got you. So it would be, so if you were doing the math, 60% of 360 is 216. So you would say 216 million. And then you would take that 216 million times 10%, and then you would do the same thing on the other side. I was just wondering, you know what I'm saying? It's not even necessary. We can have that conversation just a whole nother day. It's not, I'm not about to delve into that at 8:00 at night. But Lil hit me up and asked me, or was telling me about it. And I was like, when I talk to Dr. Hawk, I gotta find out why Dr. Hawk is in here arguing with chicken.
It's like, boy, I'm sorry.
But it's all good. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Tori, you there? You talking to me?
I was about to say, and Joe Fiel down there.
Joe Fiel said he got a headache. I ain't know if he had a headache. I ain't want. I know Victoria be at work, so I don't call on her that much. And Joe Fiel said he was eating dinner and he had a headache. He was fighting a headache, so I didn't want to, force anybody to come up or talk if they didn't feel like it. So that's all good. It's 8:00. I think I'm gonna try to take a shower. I said try to take a shower. How do you try to take a shower?
I'm gonna say, how you try to take a shower, Shell?
You gotta wash.
Yeah. You start trying to get in the shower and not
running through the drops.
It's the ADHD. You just be like, what was I doing again? You think the shower running and you like picking up dirty clothes. Like, what am I doing? Anyway.
You know what? Real quick, because I saw Lil's comment. She was like, why do women do that? Why, when they ask the question, because then it was asked a question about women, right? Why do women say, well, men do it too when questions like that are asked, right? By me. And my thing, the reason I do it, I'm going to tell you this, because people will ask the question to spin a narrative as if it is just the one side. That's why
hold on, Dr. Hawk. I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, because and Lil's okay. So said penned a question for me, and somebody said something about Black women have been tearing Black men down for years and stuff like that. And is that true? And I was honest, right? You see a lot of bitter baby mamas and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, absolutely. I've seen it and in my line of work, but I was like, but I think that we both do it, both men and women. And when people tend to ask the question the one-sided way, the times that I do say yes, it's both, is because people ask the question to try to paint a narrative as if it is only the other side instead of acknowledging that we're all the problem.
Okay.
So
you said,
yeah.
I got you. That makes sense. I know Lil. I don't think Lil can respond. I think she's picking Libby up.
Yeah.
But I got you. Yeah, I feel you. I know people. There's a lot of. There's a word for it. Oh, what is the word for it? Like, there's a lot of like presenting of a question or presenting of an argument that will manipulate the listeners, what the listener gets from it, and it doesn't give you the whole story,
right?
Or why, So or the historical aspect of it doesn't really get thrown into it. You just look at the outcome without the nuance, and then you have people walking around with a perspective that isn't nuanced or lacks information. So there's that. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before we sign off? Keisha, I saw you unmuted. Did you have something?
No, I was just going to say this was a great conversation, and thank you guys again. This weekend was much needed, so it was fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun. We got to go bowling again. It was fun. I didn't find
Yes, we do.
It was good. Red Titan was a lot of fun.
I'm so glad y'all was able to link up.
Huh?
Yes, you got to be there next time.
Yeah, it was fun. So
was that last night?
Saturday.
Saturday.
It was Saturday. Yeah.
It was Saturday.
I was out eating Saturday.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. All right, so we're gonna wrap this. Real or fake? Pay attention to people's body language. Pay attention to the things people say. Pay attention to whether or not they can acknowledge when they're right or wrong about something. And I don't want to say test people, but make choices and move and make decisions in a way that allows you to find out why people are really present in your life. Because people will use you. Everything isn't reciprocal. And don't be afraid to choose yourself from time to time. That's very important. Not choosing yourself can build resentment. So there's that. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow we'll be on Instagram. Wednesday we'll be back here. Thursday is the patience course. So if you want to do that, go get the Divinely Unique membership. And IAmChellsX.com. Come join us. If anyone's here on Instagram, I appreciate y'all. It's been like 4 lives. In the meantime, in between time, take your power back, baby. Peace.